the next couple of questions, I want to help our audience understand how you develop your teaching methods. Can you help us understand the meaning of experiential learning?
Well, yes, of course. Experiential learning, to put it simply, is basically learning while doing. If I had to say in a succinct way, learning while doing. It's a way of learning that focuses on active participation and hands-on experience. It's about involving students in direct experiences that are relevant to the subject matter. And in the process, encouraging them to reflect on those experiences and extracting meaningful insights from them. One of the main advantages of experiential learning is that students gain deeper understanding and retention of the material. Of course, as well as the ability to apply their knowledge in real-world context. It's some sort of workshop learning, if I have to describe it in a way. When I think of experiential learning in my classes, and in particular in the use of VR, experiential learning can take so many forms that, of course, will depend on learning goals. For example, field trip, where students visit relevant locations to observe, interact with, and perhaps learn from the environment, is a type of experiential learning. We do field trips a lot in the program. Another example of experiential learning is role-playing or simulations. We do those too, where students are assigned specific roles or scenarios that replicate real-world situations. An example of this could be the negotiations class that we teach in the MS program. Students participate in a simulated buying experience where they take on roles of buyers and sellers, and they negotiate prices and make business decisions while they are learning. Through these hands-on experiences, our students gain practical knowledge and develop problem-solving and decision-making skills. Now, here's one thing. Experiential learning has been widely recognized as an effective educational approach, backed by research and evidence. High retention rates, for example, is one of the greatest advantages. There's an organization called the National Training Laboratory, or NTL.org. They perform a study on retention rates. And their study revealed some outstanding discoveries. They found out that 5% of information, that students will retain 5% of information through lectures, right? So through a regular lecture, students will retain 5%. Through reading, students retain 10%. Through demonstrations, students retain 30%. And here's the kicker. Through experiential learning, students retain 75% through practice by doing. So, I've been fascinated about how experiential learning can improve the learning experience of my students. I can stand and speak for hours in a classroom, right? Is that my goal? No, it's not my goal. My goal is for my students to learn. Another study by the Association of Experiential Education, I think is the name, the Association for Experiential Education, found that students that engage in experiential learning have higher academic achievement compared to those in traditional classroom settings. They demonstrated increased knowledge retention, improved problem-solving skills, and better application of concepts. And there are a number of other studies that support enhanced critical thinking and problem-solving skills, increased motivation and engagement and development of soft skills, amongst others, when students learn in an experiential learning setting.
Wow. So, Humberto, I have to ask, do you also teach the sales classes at the University of Maryland? I am completely sold on experiential learning. That was a magnificent answer. Thank you for providing that.